everybody. Get used to seeing me a lot today. This is my third video today, and I already have another live scheduled for an hour and a half from now. But there's just so much going on. I fear that if I don't just cover it as it happens, it might not get covered. And indeed, and in fact, there has been some stuff that I have not been able to cover, and it feels like I'm never going to get back around to it. So, all right. One of the videos I made this morning, one of the, I think two I already made, so this is the third one. It had to do with Buzbee suing. Now, we learned in that article that I was reading in the video, sorry, not the article, we learned in Buzbee's Instagram post that the lawsuit wasn't actually listing Buzbee as the plaintiff. He was representing the plaintiff. The plaintiff was Buzbee was bringing this action on behalf of the plaintiff, and the plaintiff's name is somebody Garcia. I'll show you all the lawsuit in a second. I finally did get it. And shout out to the person who was like, maybe it's in state court, because I didn't even think about the fact it could be in state court. I mean, I kind of did, but then I just like dismissed it as like, obviously Rock Nation's not a Texas entity, but I mean, maybe it even is. I really don't know. But then because we already have this Diddy live already scheduled, I'm like, I'm not really trying to overdo it. I already made 2 videos, but then I started reading these documents. Oh my God. I had to go live. I didn't even make it to page 3. I was like, let me just go live because this is just crazy. This is too much. Let me pull it up. Okay. So this is a public court document that you can access it for free. So I did access this for free. However, if you want to get it as a PDF on your own computer, it does cost money. So I ended up having to pay like $30 something for these documents. But that's fine. Whatever. I don't think you should have to pay like that much money for these because they can take stuff offline. Like, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, let me just get to this. Okay. So here's the complaint. Okay. Now, I apologize in advance ahead of time. This PDF document, unfortunately, isn't allowing me to select the text to highlight with or whatever. So sorry. I mean, it does. I know it's easier to follow along when I can do that, but it's just not letting me. I don't know if it's like the way it was scanned in or what. Okay. So it says plaintiffs, and this is again, Buzbee filed this lawsuit on behalf of, I don't know how to pronounce this correctly, Gerardo Garcia, and then versus Mary Brian Croft, who is a lawyer for Rock Nation, according to Buzbee. The other defendants are Rock Nation, LLC, and then MJ Legal is the name of one of the companies, MJ Legal PA. We also have Jessica Santiago, which sounds so familiar. Somebody Santiago. Why does that sound familiar? Put it in the chat. Why does Jessica Santiago sound familiar? Has her name come up before? Anyway, who else are the other defendants? Quinn Emanuel. And Quinn Emanuel is a law firm, and they are representing everybody. They represented Mr. Beast. Quinn Emanuel did in the third-party investigation against looking into his own self, and then they found him, cleared him of all wrongdoing or whatever. And then Quinn Emanuel is also, that's where Alex Spiro works. They got Alec Baldwin off in the Rust trial, but Alex Spiro is also representing Jay-Z in his many lawsuits, which are now opposed, the many now that exist that are opposed to Buzbee. Alex Spiro is representing Elon Musk in an action against either the SEC or the Securities Exchange Commission. And Alex Spiro is representing Eric Adams in his criminal indictment, who's the mayor of New York. Alex, I don't know. Did they reproduce him or something? Like, how is he getting all this work done? And he's so hot under the collar. I mean, maybe that's why he didn't have time to fact check whether or not Diddy and Jay-Z were friends. I do not know. Thank you so much, Nicole, for the $2.99 super chat. And thank you to KP to put toward you having to pay for those docs. Thank you for that $4.99 super chat. Thank you. Love you, mean it. Okay, so let's read further on these documents. Okay. And so what is this lawsuit for? It's for something I never heard of before today. Barratry. Barratry. What is barratry? Y'all are going to be seeing articles to and fro. It's going to be 15 pages of articles this time next week about what is barratry. I feel like plaintiff's original petition for barratry and conspiracy to commit barratry. What is that? I hope they're going to tell us. Plaintiff, that is Mr. Garcia, files this original petition against the defendants. That's Mary and MJ Legal and Jessica Santiago, Rock Nation, Quinn Emanuel, seeking damages, and respectfully shows this honorable court the following. Defendants have conspired, this is Buzbee writing this, to obstruct justice by engaging shadowy operatives to illegally seek out more than 24 current and former clients of the Buzbee law firm to convince those clients to bring frivolous cases against the Buzbee firm. Okay, so we had a footnote here, footnote 1. It says Exhibit 1 is a transcript between Jessica Santiago and Gerardo Garcia. That's the plaintiff. Quote, exactly. We have like 70 people that are in this class action, and there will be more. You're on the list, but we have other people too. Today, I'm visiting with you and with 3 more people who will sign up to be in the lawsuit. Okay, so this is supposedly what Jessica Santiago said. This is Buzbee writing this. There's a footnote. Reason I'm reading down here on the number 1 right here, Exhibit 1, is the footnote appeared right here. In the sentence in the lawsuit, it says they conspired to obstruct justice by engaging shadowy operatives to illegally seek out more than 24 current and former clients to convince those clients. Now, something y'all should know. Seeking out a client as a lawyer, I'm not licensed to practice law anymore. I voluntarily resigned. I gave up my license. If I wanted to practice law again, I would have to retake the bar exam and pass it again. But I remember it was a very strict rule, okay, when I was taking the licensing tests, like the MPRE. You have to know and you have to be aware as a lawyer, you cannot solicit clients. The only way you can solicit a client is if you are going to take them on completely pro bono. You can solicit a pro bono client. Like you can go up to, because it's supposedly in the interest of the public. Like, you know, let's say there's like somebody that's a lawyer and they want to represent somebody that's, without funds. They can do that. They can say, all right, I'll take you on. I'll represent you. They can even seek them out. But from what I understand, you cannot seek out a client and then get paid for the client. That's my understanding. Okay. So in this lawsuit here, page 1, Buzbee is saying that these defendants, that's Rock Nation and Quinn Emanuel, Alex Spiro's law firm, and this other law firm, MJ Legal or whatever that is, all of these people are conspiring. They're engaging shadowy operatives to illegally seek out more than 24, that's 24, current and former clients of the Buzbee law firm to convince them to bring frivolous cases against the firm. Defendant Rock Nation is financing this effort. That's what they're alleging. Buzbee is saying Rock Nation is financing these lawsuits and this illegal effort, according to Buzbee. Its attorneys, Marcy Croft and Quinn Emanuel, are orchestrating the effort. Okay, so who's paying for it? Rock Nation, according to Buzbee. And who's orchestrating it? These 2 right here, Quinn Emanuel and Marcy Croft, according to Buzbee. In some cases, defendants' agents pretend to work for the state of Texas and have flashed fake badges. Oh my gosh. Buzbee is making some very serious claims. In some cases, defendants' agents, so the goons, pretend to work for the state of Texas and have flashed fake badges. Okay, so we have a footnote 2. Let's scroll down and see what it says down here, footnote 2. Exhibit 1, see, okay, so they're pointing again to Exhibit 1, which I also do have and which we can look at. Transcript between Jessica Santiago and Mr. Garcia, who's the plaintiff. We quote, we are from the state. We are from the state. That does seem pretty unequivocal. Now, I do just want to point out, The evidence that we have is a transcript. It's typed out, okay? I would like to hear it for myself, I would like to have it authenticated before I know for certain. Okay, hear me. Listen what I'm saying. Before I know for certain. However, typing it out as a transcript is still presenting something as evidence. And it's from a firsthand account, apparently, because it's from the guy who's saying, he has the recording. I don't really know. Let's read further. Soliciting clients is a crime in the state of Texas, Buzbee says. Paying individuals to file false claims is unethical and criminal in the state of Texas. Impersonating a state official is a crime. In at least one case, Buzbee says, defendant's agents offered as much as $10,000 to a former client of the Buzbee law firm to sue the firm. And we have footnote 3, so let's see what it says. Footnote 3 says, Exhibit 2 is an affidavit of a person named Skylar Taylor. And Exhibit 3 is the affidavit of a person named Shannon Champagne. The defendants were aggressive. Quote, these men offered me money to sign on as a client with them. Specifically, they offered me $10,000 in exchange for signing with them as a client. This was from the affidavit of Shannon Champagne, which has been attached as Exhibit 3, which I do have, which we can read. Footnote 3 goes on to say, quote, defendant's scheme has been successful in 2 instances thus far. 2 cases have been filed to date, both utterly frivolous and patently false. Both will undoubtedly, needlessly subject the former Buzbee law firm clients to fees and expenses and will result in bar action against the law firms who accepted referrals of these cases from defendant Marcy Croft. Okay, so Buzbee's saying, sucks for those clients and former clients who sued me because they're going to have to be paying fees and expenses. Sucks for them. And I am going to go after sanctions against the lawyers who filed these cases in their law firms. And he's alleging that these cases have been filed as referrals, had been referred as clients from a woman by the name of Marcy Croft, who works at Quinn Emanuel. So it's not like Quinn Emanuel is doing the suing. They're not representing these clients. But Buzbee is saying they might as well be because they're the ones that referred them. Let's read further. And he's going to report them to the bar. Marcy's conduct is despicable and criminal, despite being mandated by her client and self-described benefactor, Rock Nation. Okay, so she's in a lawyer-client relationship with Rock Nation. Okay. Unfortunately, Buzbee says, for the defendants, their agents were not very smart or careful. Their agents, that's the goons, were caught on audio tape, red-handed. Not knowing they were being recorded, the goons admitted that defendant Marcy Croft, a licensed Texas lawyer and member of, quote, Team Rock, was orchestrating the effort. And in another recording, those goons described the criminal conspiracy in great detail, going so far as to admit that the lawsuits would be in the press and that some former clients had already accepted money to join the effort. Then he's about to go in on Jay-Z. And this is what I was like, okay, I'm going live. This paragraph, I didn't even get past this paragraph before I was like, I'm going live. And again, y'all, we have a whole Diddy hearing coming up at 2:00 in an hour and 15 minutes, hour and 10 minutes. Okay, so he says, Rock Nation and Jay-Z are synonymous. Jay-Z is founder and chairman of Rock Nation. At the same time, the illegal conduct described herein continues. The Buzbee law firm is pursuing claims on behalf of at least one client against Jay-Z. in New York federal court. And as a result of that client's claims, Jay-Z sued the Buzbee law firm in Los Angeles in California State Court. Defendant Quinn Emanuel, that's the law firm, who represents Jay-Z in both of these cases and who also frequently represents Roc Nation. Okay, so Quinn Emanuel, that's the law firm, but the name of Jay-Z's lawyer that we've seen mentioned in the press has been Alex Spiro. But he works for a firm called Quinn Emanuel. And so does this lady, Marcy Croft, and she's actually named. It's interesting in here because Alex Spiro isn't named as a defendant in this lawsuit. It's just this Marcy Croft and then the whole entire law firm of Quinn Emanuel. Plus, Roc Nation. Interestingly, also Jay-Z as an individual is not named as a defendant in this lawsuit. It is only Roc Nation. However, you do have this whole paragraph right here that starts with the sentence, quote, and this is from Buzbee. Roc Nation and Jay-Z are synonymous. So they're the same thing. Jay-Z, Roc Nation, tomato, tomato. It says defendant Quinn Emanuel, who represents Jay-Z in both cases and who frequently represents Roc Nation, denied in open court and in the press, denied their involvement in the scheme that I'm describing. And they did that in open court and in the press. They did in open court under, being sworn in or whatever. And they did it in the press. They denied Jay-Z, Roc Nation had any involvement in the scheme I'm telling you about, Your Honor. That denial was a bold-faced lie. That's what Buzbee said. The illegal effort described here, which Roc Nation is funding, and defendant Croft and the law firm of Quinn Emanuel is orchestrating, it is intended, this whole scheme, Buzbee says, is intended to interfere with Buzbee law firm's ability to represent its clients and interfere with our ability to offer pertinent evidence to authorities. And I'm assuming he means law enforcement authorities and FBI. Now we do have another footnote here. So let's look at footnote. Where did 4 come from? I don't even think I saw 4. I think they might have deleted 4. So just footnote 5 here. Where is it? Okay, there is no footnote 5. Okay, so footnote 4 just reiterates, defendant Roc Nation routinely employs the law firm of Quinn Emanuel. Quinn Emanuel is also the law firm representing Jay-Z in the case he filed against the Buzbee law firm in Los Angeles, as well as a case where Jay-Z was sued by a client of the Buzbee law firm in New York. Defendant Marcy Croft has a long association with Quinn Emanuel and with Roc Nation. Defendant's scheme, Tony Buzbee goes on to say, is summarized, and I haven't read this yet. Oh yeah, this was actually, we've read this before because Tony Buzbee already put this up somewhere, like on Instagram or Twitter or something. But he says now in a court filing, which, hit the docket less than 3 hours ago, Buzbee says defendant's scheme is summarized in the following recording transcript. Quote, what we're trying to do is we're trying to put this thing together for the company we're working for. We could get you paid. You could get money right soon, We gave this kid $1,000 to start yesterday just to get him on the right path. At the end of the day, this is going to go through the courts. Buzbee is getting sued. Okay, so that's the quote from the transcript. As a part of their scheme, defendants attempted to use the plaintiff herein as a pawn. On behalf of defendant Marcy Croft, 2 individuals approached this plaintiff. They were pushy. They told him he had to talk to them because they were with the state. They told him that they were putting together a lawsuit on behalf of defendant Marcy Croft and the company she was working for, and that she would assign his case to someone who would get him a lot of money. Oh my gosh. Whew. Thankfully, Buzbee says, rather than going along with their illegal efforts, the plaintiff recorded them instead. He now files suit for barratry, both a crime and a civil action in the state of Texas. This is just one of multiple cases to be filed by plaintiffs. Oh my God, y'all. Okay, breaking news. Mark the clip, mark the timeline, mark the timestamp. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Sorry, I haven't done my shout outs and stuff really yet because I'm trying to get through this because we got another appointment in an hour and 5 minutes and I'm trying to be mindful for the time. So I want to make sure we're on top of things. So my first priority, but y'all, breaking news announcement. Oh my God. Tony Buzbee just said in a filing that is brand new, quote, "This is just one of multiple cases to be filed by plaintiffs who have been illegally solicited by investigators working as part of a cabal headquartered in New York City. This is just one of many lawsuits that Buzbee is going to file for this. He's calling it a crime. This is egregious allegations. Imagine if they weren't true." And he called it a cabal headquartered in New York City. Defendants have a long history of the type of abusive and egregious conduct described herein because they have gotten away with it for so long. Defendants think they can come down to Texas and do whatever they choose with impunity. Not in Tony Buzbee's town. He didn't say that part, I added it in. He said they are wrong. Their behavior will have consequences, both civilly and criminally. Just because I'm from Louisiana, it just really resonates. It does feel like this kind of big city slicker versus but really, honestly, in real life, like Tony Buzbee is a pretty big city slicker. I mean, he can roll with the biggest of the best. You know what I mean? Like, I understand where he's coming from. He said, "This is just one of multiple cases I'm about to file on the behalf of plaintiffs who have been illegally solicited by investigators working as part of a cabal headquartered in New York City. Defendants have a long history of the type of abusive and egregious conduct described herein because they have gotten away with it for so long. Defendants think they can come down to Texas and do whatever they choose with impunity." Buzbee said they are wrong. Their behavior will have consequences, both civil and criminal. Woo! Ho! Okay, parties. Marcy Bryan, a Texas attorney. Marcy Bryan Croft. Self-admitted member of Team Rock. Connection with the defendants is plainly demonstrated below. Oh my God, look at this. He done put her shady. He done put her Instagram up. Look at this. Instagram, and he don't follow her. He doesn't even follow her. She posts from Parchman, Mississippi. This is when was this posted? 2020. The post is, "It's an honor and a privilege to work for such a worthy cause. The situation at Parchman, amazing work. We're very proud to be a small part of this great team. Thank you, #Rock Nation and hashtag Team Rock for all that you do." I don't really, okay, yeah. Yeah, she did say, "Be a part. Whoever we is, we are very proud to be a small part of this team." And she does seemingly indicate who is the team, Team Rock. It's the very next sentence. So I do think, yeah, I mean, it looks like she's saying she's on Team Rock. February 2020. Again, she reposts Team Rock. "Thanks, Team Rock. We appreciate everything you do." Oh, no, excuse me. "Everything you are doing to help Mississippi and hold." Okay, this one, to be clear, to be honest, to be fair, I want to be fair. I don't think this is her saying she's part of Team Rock. Okay, but that last one, yes, did look like it. All right. Buzbee goes on. Defendant MJ Legal PA is a business corporation and a law firm performing legal services in Texas. Defendant Rock Nation is a limited liability company organized in Delaware and headquartered in New York. This defendant can be served through the Texas Secretary of State. Defendant Quinn Emanuel is a law firm, limited liability partnership, and they can be served in Houston office. Quinn Emanuel frequently represents Rock Nation and currently represents Jay-Z in a lawsuit against Buzbee. So he's like, look, we should be able to get them served because they sure did serve me. Now, who is Jessica Santiago? That is what I want to know. It says defendant Jessica Santiago is a resident of Harris County, Texas, and can be served via personal service at her home address. Okay. Venue, they want to do it in Texas under Texas law. Plaintiff intends to conduct discovery under Level 3 of Texas Rule of Civil Procedure 190.4 and affirmatively pleads that this suit is not governed by the expedited actions process in Texas. So I guess this is just things you have to include. And he gives his reasoning because plaintiff seeks relief over $100,000. So we are told that we haven't even got to the facts section yet. It's about to get so many more details. But they are telling us they're going to be going after more than $100,000. And they also telling us that it's going to be the first of many lawsuits of the sort. And they are kind of teasing or maybe threatening sounds like criminal or something. You know, I don't think it's criminal, but they are kind of like hint. And by they, I mean Buzbee, the one filing the lawsuit and on behalf of his plaintiff. You might be able to get away with the shenanigans over there in those jurisdictions, but try it over here in Texas, which, you know what? My counter argument is they might be able to because Beyonce's from Texas. So they might have ties over there. They might be able to do whatever they need to do, but I don't know. The way it's being presented, the way it's being framed is almost like Tony Buzbee is kind of goading or like daring the government, the law enforcement authorities to do something about this criminally. Like, look, Texas, here's your chance to do something. It kind of feels like it's kind of that. I don't know. What do y'all think? This filing is supported. So he lists the evidence. I don't know if I've ever, it has been a while since I've seen evidence listed like this, but maybe this is how you have to do it over there. This filing is supported by the following evidence, which is attached and incorporated. Okay, so A, B, C, D, and exhibit. He should have did 1, 2, 3. Should have named them. It's like exhibits. But yeah, the exhibits are a transcript of Jessica Santiago talking with the plaintiff, Mr. Garcia. Another exhibit is another transcript of the defendant's agent and someone named Skylar Taylor, who then as exhibit C provides also an affidavit. So they are backing up this transcript by a person who's saying, yes, this is indeed a transcript. It's accurate. I'm the person that's on it. Okay. So that does strengthen the evidence a little, but again, I would like to hear and even if it's a video, I would like to see and hear the evidence myself before I just take whoever Skylar Taylor's word is for it. But that is, by putting B and C together, that is a stronger evidence than if there was no affidavit. And then finally, there's another affidavit by someone by the name of Shannon Champagne. Okay, so here's the facts section. On behalf of two clients, Tony Buzbee and the Buzbee Law Firm sent demand letters to Sean Jay-Z Carter's attorneys in New York. Okay, so Buzbee said, I have two clients. I sent demand letters. Sent them to Jay-Z's attorneys in New York. The letters made no monetary demand. They only sought a confidential sit-down to discuss the client's allegations. In response to the two letters, law firm defendant Quinn Emanuel filed a lawsuit against the Buzbee law firm. That suit alleged that the firm was trying to extort Jay-Z. Buzbee says that suit was and is frivolous, and it will be dismissed. Several weeks later, the Buzbee firm, on behalf of one of the clients who sent a demand letter, filed a lawsuit against Jay-Z. Okay, so Buzbee sues Jay-Z on behalf of a client. One of the ones that he wouldn't sit down and do the meet and confer or whatever. So Buzbee says, we filed the lawsuit against Jay-Z. At or around that time, Buzbee says, defendant's conspiracy began. Okay, so around about the time that Buzbee sued Jay-Z on the behalf of the client, that's when this conspiracy began. As part of that conspiracy, current and former clients of the Buzbee law firm began receiving solicitations from investigators asking them to sue the Buzbee law firm. The investigators used burner phones. Many times, the investigators used fake names or flashed. Remember whenever I said, yeah, okay, his name is James Thomas, just like the lady down on Skid Row on the lady down on the blade, his name is Cinnamon Honey. Okay, yeah, sure. And look, we have Buzbee saying the investigators use burner phones. Many times they use fake names, flashed badges, or credentials, but would not let the client see them. That's pretty crazy. That's crazy. These allegations are insane. But you know what? I need to go back and watch those 2 videos that are out circulating because I do think something like that did happen. They had some type of badge. Maybe they covered it up. Maybe they didn't. Maybe I'm misremembering. I need to go back and watch. But it says many times the investigators used fake names or flashed fake badges or credentials, but would not let the clients see them. Like Buzbee's, the plaintiffs, the ones that are about to be suing. They're like, yeah, they flashed these badges, but they wouldn't actually let me look at them. During some of the contacts, the investigators were pushy. And in at least 2, they pretended to be acting on behalf of the state of Texas. That is crazy. That really is a crime. You cannot do that. But I don't know if that's true if it happened. You know what I mean? I wasn't there. Several of these calls were caught on either camera or tape. In each instance, the investigators were careful not to disclose on whose behalf they were working. And it says, Buzbee says, for good reason. The defendants in this case did not want to disclose their participation in the flagrant violation of Texas law. Indeed, these defendants openly and brazenly violated Texas criminal laws dozens of times. Oh my gosh, this is so crazy. One such target of defendants' solicitation, that's, Rock Nation and all them, they were soliciting clients. And one of their targets was this man, Gerardo Garcia. Mr. Garcia is a resident of Harris County. He was injured in a Jones Act lawsuit and hired the Buzbee law firm to represent him. His case was settled in 2020. He was happy with the resolution of his case, and he had no complaints with the Buzbee law firm. All right, so Buzbee's like, enter plaintiff in the case, Mr. Garcia. I represented him, Your Honor, me, Anthony Buzbee. I represented him back in the day. We settled a lawsuit for him in 2020. It was whatever a Jones Act lawsuit is. If I had a little bit more time, I'd look it up, but just, maybe he got hurt at work or something, and, or some discrimination or something. And Buzbee represented him. He got him a settlement. The man, Mr. Garcia, was happy with his service, and he went on his merry way in 2020. Okay, that's the plaintiff in this case right now, suing for barratry. Nearly 5 years later, after his case had resolved, not seeking to hire a lawyer or file a lawsuit, Mr. Garcia was contacted out of the blue by 2 investigators. This contact was an illegal solicitation and was made on behalf of and as a part of a conspiracy involving defendants Croft, Rock Nation, Quinn Emanuel, which is the law firm. One of these investigators identified herself as Jessica Santiago. These 2 investigators approached Mr. Garcia at his home and flashed a badge. Okay, so they rolled up on this plaintiff at his house. And I think we actually probably already saw a picture. I think we already saw a picture of this. where it's like a ring cam. It's not the one with the guy, the comedian. It's like a ring cam at the front door. And it's like we were comparing the side. I don't think I made a video on it. Rabbit did. And she was comparing the side by side of the goons we had seen a few days earlier with the doorbell goons. And Tony Buzbee posted the picture. I also showed that picture this morning on my my first video about this before I actually got my hands on the lawsuit. So the investigators, I don't know if that's from this incident, because he did say that there's going to be many more of these lawsuits. So maybe that's not from this incident. But it says these two investigators approached Mr. Garcia, the plaintiff in this case, at his home and flashed a badge. They told Plaintiff Garcia several times that they were from the state. They told this man they were from the state. They asked him if he was unhappy with his settlement from 2020 and whether they could see his settlement documents. They were pushy. They followed this up by explaining to him that they were there with the state, but they could connect him with a private lawyer so he could sue the Buzbee law firm. They told this plaintiff several times that there was money in it for him. These investigators' requests became increasingly aggressive and hostile. At some point, defendants' agents demanded, so the goons demanded Mr. Garcia produce his medical records and offered him money to hire the private lawyer to sue the Buzbee law firm. That's whenever Mr. Garcia decided to just call the Buzbee firm and report the conduct. Like, this is crazy if this is true. They told this man there was money in it for him. They said the worst part about it to me is they said they were from the state. Like, that would make me think as a layperson, you know, I don't know if I have to comply, because Buzbee has already said in this lawsuit that some of the plaintiffs were told that they had to comply and they had to talk to these people. I don't know. I mean, I would like to see the evidence, you know, or more evidence. At some point, the goons demanded Mr. Garcia produce his medical records. They offered him money to hire a private lawyer to sue the Buzbee law firm. Mr. Garcia decided to call the Buzbee law firm and report the conduct. Despite her best efforts in disguising the identities of those she was working for, investigator Jessica Santiago was caught on tape disclosing to Mr. Garcia, that's the plaintiff, that she was working for an attorney named Marcy Croft at the law firm MJ Legal PA. Defendant Marcy Croft is an attorney in Jackson, Mississippi. Defendant MJ Legal is the law firm that Mrs. Croft or Miss Croft purportedly owns. So that's her law firm. She advertises herself as a member of Team Rock. She kind of does, you know, at least if that Instagram screenshot is to be believed, which it looks on its face as if it's a real one. Moreover, Miss Croft advertises that she has become actively involved with criminal justice reform and prison reform. Oh my God. Oh my God. I just got a sick feeling in my stomach. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Lou Taylor stench. Lou Taylor stench. Oh, okay. Moreover, Miss Croft advertises that she has become, quote, actively involved with criminal justice reform and prison reform alongside Rock Nation's philanthropic arm, Team Rock. She further advertises herself as being involved in, quote, numerous litigation actions pending on behalf of Team Rock, families, and hundreds of incarcerated men. Marcy Croft has worked with Rock Nation for years alongside Quinn Emanuel's Alex Spiro. So he does mention Spiro, but he doesn't name him as a defendant. He kind of, I guess, a little bit does, but like he individually names Marcy alone as a defendant. He doesn't do that for Alex, but he does name drop him here in the documents. It says Marcy Croft has worked with Rock Nation for years alongside the law firm Quinn Emanuel's Alex Spiro. Spiro and Quinn Emanuel are currently opposing the Buzbee law firm in at least 2 cases. Okay. The first cause of action is the barratry or solicitation. Texas Penal Code, that's a criminal statute. Texas Penal Code, section 38.12, all defendants. So this against everybody that they named as defendants. Defendant Rock Nation, in conspiracy with Quinn Emanuel, which is the law firm, orchestrated and instructed defendants Croft, that's the lawyer, and MJ Legal, her law firm, to send agents, private investigators, aka goons, in Texas to the homes of the firm's ex-clients who were also in Texas. One of those ex-clients was plaintiff Garcia. Once there, these agents, investigators, solicited employment for defendant Croft and defendant MJ Legal. Each of these defendants offered money to plaintiff to hire defendant Croft and sue the firm. To add insult to injury, these investigators sent by defendants acted as if they were government officials. To add insult to injury, these goons, disguised as investigators, sent by defendants, they pretended to be government officials or police officers, even going so far as to brandish a badge and tell plaintiff Garcia they were from the state. This is bad. This is not good, especially if they do have the evidence they're claiming to have. Oh my God, this is bad. Defendant Rock Nation is knowingly financing the commission of these crimes and is therefore guilty of the same. Quinn Emanuel, the law firm, is assisting in the conspiracy and has publicly lied about its involvement. Oh my God. It also had its lawyers lie directly to a state court judge in Texas about its involvement. Oh my God. Oh my God. One more time. Quinn Emanuel is assisting in the conspiracy and has publicly lied about its involvement. It has had its lawyers lie directly to a state court judge in Texas about its involvement. Oh my God. They're also suing for civil conspiracy. Defendants make up more than two people, well, persons for the purposes of the law, because a business is a person under the law. You didn't know that? Plaintiff and defendants, the ones I'm suing, make up more than two persons who sought to accomplish a goal of committing barratry and soliciting clients to sue the firm. All defendants had a meeting of the minds on this organized criminal conduct and then took many unlawful acts to accomplish this criminal conduct. As a result, this plaintiff suffered damages in an amount to be proven at trial, but we know they think it's more than $100,000. They said that earlier. Because defendants' conduct was committed with actual malice, plaintiff's also going to seek exemplary damages. So I want you to make an example out of them too, Your Honor. They also want punitive damages. The conduct was committed with actual malice, and as such, the plaintiff wants exemplary damages. Moreover, because this involves the violation of a criminal statute, no damage caps are applicable to plaintiff's damages. So you can't put a cap on it. It could be an infinity dollars. Damages. Okay, so let's take a quick look at the exhibits. Again, we do have a hearing of the pretrial conferences today starting in about 43 minutes. So I am going to have to go off of this live at that time, and I'm going to have to start that one. Hopefully we'll be able to just finish everything up. Okay. This Jessica Santiago name sounds so freaking familiar. Somebody please tell me what it is. I can't read y'all's comments right now. I'm a little bit of a rush. I'm trying not to make it seem like I'm in a rush, but I'm feeling a little bit of time pressure right now. I hate when you go to somebody's channel though and they're winded and they're exasperated. It's I don't like that vibe, so I'm trying to keep it together. Doing my, guru mantra in my mind. Okay. Here's the transcript. As you can see right here, Exhibit 1, okay? Publicly filed document. This is a typed out transcript of what this plaintiff and Buzbee alleged to be a recording of a conversation which happened between one of the goons, Jessica Santiago, whose name is just, oh my God, I got to figure it out by the end of the day where that name. It's just it's ringing in the top of my head. And then the plaintiff. So this is an investigator, Jessica Santiago, and she's calling the plaintiff to allegedly solicit clientele for a law firm, okay, which is against the law in Texas and I think everywhere. So PI is going to be, PI means private investigator. That's Jessica, PI. Do you have time today so we can have an appointment to talk and show you the papers? You can communicate with the lawyer. Client, yes. What time? Client, look, 5 p.m. One thing. If I sign that contract, is there some money that you will pay me first? Jessica said it depends on the lawyer, but what you will sign today is only a contract to investigate, giving permission to the lawyer to conduct an investigation into your case, to see what happened, and to recommend a separate lawyer more familiar with your kind of case, but she will not charge anything. And the separate lawyer also does not require any money. Only at the conclusion do they take out their fee, if they are able to recover the money, if you are entitled to. So I will say, in Jessica's defense, it does appear that she's not doing anything against the rules at this moment. Just like, all we want to do is look and see if you have a case. And if you do, we're going to either send you out to a lawyer, that will work for you for free, or we'll send you to one that still is going to, only get their fee afterwards. So I think, no, because that second prong makes it against the rules, I think. Okay. The client says, is this a lawyer from the state or a private lawyer? Jessica said, it's a private lawyer. We are from the state. Oh my God. She said we are from the state to this man. Oh my God. They might get in trouble. This might actually get them in trouble. They might actually finally get in trouble. It's a private lawyer. We are from the state. Now, again, I didn't hear this. All I'm doing is reading. Jessica says, but it's a private lawyer that note what the Buzbee law firm was doing. For example, last night, someone signed up with us. And in his case, Buzbee was depositing his checks in Buzbee's private account and not into an account for lawyers. And he was charging the interest and taking that money. And he was stealing the checks from insurance. And so didn't know that Buzbee was stealing. That was his case. Now, I don't know much about your case, but the lawyer you will speak with today, she will explain that she will open your case, see what happened with you. But your name appeared on the list of people that may have something unusual, and she wants to investigate your case. It's like a call center. It's like a MLM. Your name appeared on a list of somebody that might be interested in buying my stuff. Can I come to your house? Your name appeared on the list of people that may have something unusual, and she wants to investigate your case. And then she will recommend someone more familiar with your kind of case to recover that money. And the client, who's now suing, he said, and they are from the state? Oh, they're from the state. Oh, they slick. Oh, they slick. They're going to say, Your Honor, we just meant we're from the state of Texas, like we're from Texas. When you say we're from the state, I know what that means. You know what I mean? He said, and they're from the state. Like he keeps reiterating over and over. Like he keeps asking, and this is a state lawyer? Jessica Santiago said the lawyer is from here, Texas, and also has a license in New York. Us, the investigators, are from the state, but we're not lawyers. We're from the state. But the lawyer has her license here in Texas. No, we are from the state might not cut it. I think it's just too ambiguous, but this really pisses me off because if she's going to come back and try and say, I'm from the state of Texas, any idiot would know that, I'm going to call bullshit on that. Sorry. If I had more time, I would do a poll in the chat because I really do want to know y'all's opinions on this, but we had too much to get through. Oh my God. She said, we are from the state. Us, the investigators, are from the state, but we're not lawyers. But the lawyer has her license here in Texas and also in New York. And the client said, the class action is just for certain people who have had cases with the lawyer. Jessica said, exactly, with that lawyer. We have 70 people in the class action that had problems because they are frauds. With that lawyer, Buzbee. Now she's accused. That's defamation right there. They are frauds. Last night, the man who we spoke with, he has 2 cases because Buzbee was putting his checks in the private checking account. That's a criminal case. But he also has a separate case where he can recover the fees. that Buzbee owes him. So he has two cases. We didn't know that until the lawyer last explained and told him, no, you have two cases. What is this network of freaking lawyers? That's what I want to know. Is it the Palm Beach Christian City Council or whatever? One criminal and another to recover your money. This Jessica talking, they saying. Now, we don't know about your case because the lawyer first needs to open your case and investigate what happened with you. So it's possible you have two cases as well, depending on what Buzbee did to you. Client said, and so if I sign, there's money, right? She said, there's money that will be recovered, of course, like if you win money, basically. The money that you are owed, and you will not need to go to court because there's lots of people in the class action, more than 70 people who have signed up with this lawyer. What's the process? The client says, to look at some documents first, or do I need to go with a lawyer? She says, no. She'll be your lawyer. That's why we're asking for the documents that you have. If you don't have any, she can still do her search. And she will read your case that you had with Buzbee, and she'll look into everything that happened. But it's better if you have documents too. And the client said, well, I lost all my documentation. This happened a long time ago, so I wouldn't have those documents now. But do I need to go to a lawyer's office, or will you come to my house? Jessica said, I'll send you a paper that explains where the lawyer is. It will explain everything in that paper. You can read it. Then I can contact the lawyer. Her name is Marcy Croft from MJ Legal, and she will explain more by telephone. But the document will explain what I have just told you over the phone, and you will have your copy. It's just an agreement so she can investigate more of your case to see if there's something unusual. And if so, she will recommend someone more familiar with your case because, there are many lawyers, but she will recommend someone who is more known with this case, like from last night. Garcia, the client, says, will you charge me anything? Jessica Santiago, no, nothing. The lawyer who will have your case, yes, of course, like always, they always charge a fee. Normally, this is bad. Normally, the lawyers charge 30%. So this is soliciting, in my opinion. Like if you were asking me this on a test or something, in my opinion, I'm not an expert, but I would say, yeah, this pretty much is like red flag solicitation because you can solicit for free for pro bono. But once you're like, yeah, come to this firm, she'll put you with somebody. She's like a middleman solicit. This is crazy. Like these type of cases really don't usually get filed. It's very rare because it's super hard to prove. And lawyers usually don't want to go after each other. But here's Jessica saying you don't have to pay anything. And then she's like, actually, yeah, you do. They always charge a fee. Normally the lawyers charge 30%. Whichever lawyer you go to, they will charge you. Yes, they're going to charge you. So yes, there will be a fee. He said, will you charge me anything? No, nothing. 3 sentences later. Yes. But the lawyer, she will not charge you anything at first. She works with us in fraud cases. Then she will recommend someone more familiar. So she'll be a broker. Then at the conclusion of your case, they will charge their part and also pay you your part as well. Then client says, those papers, can you just leave them at my house or do you want me to go to the office? She said, no, that's why I'm asking. What time will you be home? So we can show you the paper and explain. They want to come to his house. And then we can speak with the lawyer. Client, so the agreement, can I see it? She said, the agreement? Yes. And he said, and so this is a class action, a lawsuit of many people? Jessica says, yes, we have like 70 people that are in the class action, and there will be more. You are on the list. But we have other people too. It sounds just like what those goons said. We got a list of influencers we're going to hit up. We're going to talk to this week. She said, you're on the list, but we have other people too. Today I'm visiting with you. 3 more people who will sign up to be in the lawsuit. And it will increase daily. Sign up. They'll convince others to sign up. Got to sign up. We have more pages with people. I don't know how many, but there are many. And if there are more people in the class action, that's better for you because that means you will collect something. I don't know if that's true. Client says, what kind of percentage can I collect with this? Or what can I? She said, that depends on your case because all the cases are different. The document I will show you today explains that it will give permission to open your case and to see what happened. But she will not charge anything for that. Then you'll be recommended as someone familiar. And the client says, sorry to interrupt. The lawyer will be present today or just you? Jessica said, me and my partner, but she's working now. But she told me we can contact her at any time. Client 5:30, yeah, 5:30. Any change and we'll call each other. And what's the name of this lawyer? Marcy Croft. Okay. From MJ Legal. Okay. I'll give you a copy. You can read it. Good. And you can call her too. You can call Marcy too, they're saying. With us present. And she can explain it better. And what's your name? Jessica. Jessica, just Jessica? No. Jessica Santiago. Okay, underlay. So I love that. I will look at everything at 5:30 and we will be in contact. Very kind. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Ciao. Okay. So that was Exhibit 1. Let's quickly move to Exhibit 2 because in 30 minutes we have a Diddy pretrial hearing gearing up and we got to switch over to that. Okay. Here's Exhibit 3. This one's only 2 pages long. This one is the affidavit of Shannon Champagne. Oh, this Exhibit 3. What did we just do? Exhibit 2. We just did 1, right? Let me do 2. That's 3. That's 1. That's 4. Okay, got 2. Okay. This is only 2 pages though still. Okay, so this is, as you see, Exhibit 2, and it is an affidavit of Skylar Taylor. This instrument was signed 8 days ago, December 10th. By means, this instrument, interactive two-way audio and video communication. Notarial act was signed online, notarization with electronic Okay, so Skylar Taylor is alleging the following. Number 1, his name or her name is Skylar Taylor, adult resident of the state of Louisiana. Shout out to you. Of sound mind. I think it's supposed to say mind, girl. Y'all spelled mind wrong. And capable in all respects of executing this affidavit. Number 2, the information is made upon my personal knowledge. So this somebody named Skylar Taylor, a Louisiana resident, says that 3 men from New York or the New York area visited my grandmother's home on multiple occasions, showing up unannounced and demanding to speak with me, Skylar says. I did not know these men and I had not solicited them. When I spoke with these men, they stated they were investigators hired by an attorney to contact clients of the Buzbee law firm to join a class action lawsuit against the Buzbee law firm. They refused to provide any further information on who they were, what investigation company they worked for, and what attorney hired them. Without knowing any of the details of my case, these men attempted to convince me to file a lawsuit against my attorneys at the Buzbee law firm. They offered me money to sign on as a client with them. They stated that they and the other attorney that hired them paid a former client of the Buzbee law firm $1,000 to sign on with them as a client and sue the Buzbee law firm. The above is true and correct to the best of my knowledge. Okay, so that was Exhibit 2. Let's see if we can get 3 up here. It's like a merry-go-round. What is this? Nope, that's Skylar. That's 1. Okay, here's 3. Okay, this one's Shannon Champagne. My name is Shannon, and she also is an adult resident of Louisiana of sound mind. Why they don't spell mind right? The information is true and correct. 3 men. Oh, this must be the grandma. 3 men from New York visited my home on multiple occasions, showing up unannounced and demanding to speak with me. I did not know these men, and I had not solicited them. When I spoke with them, they stated they were investigators hired by an attorney to contact clients of the Buzbee law firm to join a class action lawsuit against the Buzbee law firm. They refused to provide any further information on who they were, what investigation company they worked for, or what attorney hired them. Without knowing any of the details of my case, so this is maybe it's not the grandma, because this is somebody else who also sued before. So she's saying this is a former client. This is another former client. Without knowing any of the details of my case, these men attempted to convince me to file a lawsuit against my attorneys at the Buzbee law firm. These men offered me money to sign on as a client with them. And this is the person they offered $10,000 to. Specifically, they offered me $10,000 in exchange for signing with them as a client. And then she signs it. Okay. And then we had one more document, one more exhibit 4. Okay. There's 1, 3, 2, 4. Okay. It's the last exhibit. Okay. It says transcript of audio recorded telephone conversation, exhibit 4. Okay. And again, this is we're being told it's a different transcript. We already just saw another transcript, which is read. We didn't hear it, but we read it. Okay. Where's the first part? Speaker 1. Heard you're looking for me. Hello. Thank you so much for calling me back. Yes, absolutely. I'm actually in the car and you're on speaker. My partner is with me. We wanted to actually talk to you regarding the case that you have. I know you got hurt on the boat and there's something called the Jones Act. I don't know whether you're familiar with that. It would take 2 minutes of your time. This is an MLM. It would take, in my opinion, sounds like it. It would take 2 minutes of your time to answer my questions, and it might be very beneficial for you to speak with. Let me ask you something else. Is your case still active? Speaker 1, I prefer not to answer questions, but I'll hear you out. Okay, you don't need to answer that question. Let me. Then there's a third speaker. David, good morning. My name is Joe. If I may, is there a place where we could meet up? Oh, Joe wants to meet up. Any place you'd like where we could sit down and talk? You can listen to it, and if you don't like what we have to say, you can say, I don't want to cooperate, and then walk away. That's it. No harm, no foul. This feels like I'm being sold a magazine subscription or something. No. I don't do meetups, he said, with nobody that I don't know, especially from out of the state. No worries. If you feel comfortable talking to us, that's fine. Then speaker 1, I can talk to you over the phone. I can hear what you got to say over the phone. Okay. So here's the scenario. When this is speaker 3, this is the investigator on the phone. It's 3 of them in the phone. Oh no. Okay. So I guess it's 2 of them. Sorry. Okay. Speaker 1. Hold on. Let me make sure I got my speaker 1 is the client. Who is it? Transcript of who? It doesn't say. The client. Speaker 1 is the client, the target. Speaker 2 and 3 are in the car together, and they're the goons, okay? Speaker 2, I don't know who it is. I'm just doing robot voice. And speaker 3 is a guy named Joe, okay? All right, I'm going to give you the scenario. Joe says, we went to a guy yesterday who, same as you, got hurt on a boat. What happened was his lawyer, due to this act, the Jones Act, he was supposed to get paid, right, from the company. And the lawyer said, no, don't pay him. Pay me and I'll pay him. So that's the arrangement he had with the company. But the thing is, though, he never paid this kid, okay? And on top of that, he ended up getting something like 42% of the injury. So this guy should have gotten $1 million, but he ended up getting, how much did he get? $80,000. $80,000. And at the end of the day, he got $80,000 for, he only has 3 slip discs. 3 that are normal. Everything else is messed up in his back. So there's a few things that happen there, okay? We need you to cooperate with us and start talking about what had happened in this story. Oh my God. And he was given a stipend because there was going to be, and all I can tell you is, if I may ask, who is your lawyer? Speaker 1, the target. Wait, what? Speaker 3, who is your lawyer? And the target says, like I said, I don't answer questions, but I'll hear what you guys got to say. Good for this guy. Good or girl or whoever it is. You know what I mean? Maybe this is Skylar. Is this the transcript of Skylar? Whoever Skylar is? Okay, so Speaker 3 says, okay. So he just happened to have this lawyer. His name is Buzbee. And Buzbee, apparently there's a couple lawsuits coming down where he was allegedly taking money off the top and not paying his clients. And Speaker 1, the target is like, okay. And Joe's like, in a couple of days or maybe by next week, anyone Googling Buzbee and his company, his practice, you're going to see some of these lawyers are they're going to be going into litigation, okay? What we're trying to do, Joe says, we're trying to put this thing together for the company we're working for at this. And if you have a case, we could get you paid. And you could get money right soon, you know. We gave this kid $1,000 to start yesterday. Just to get him on the right path. Yeah, so the target goes, okay, let me ask you a question. And then Joe does not let him ask the question. At the end of the day, I appreciate your question. Just hold that thought for a second. At the end of the day, this is going to go through the courts. Buzbee is getting sued. And eventually, people are going to get paid out. Now it's up to you if you want to be part of. And then that's where it ends. Stop. That's the end? I appreciate your question. Just hold that thought for a second, Joe says. At the end of the day, this is going through the courts. Buzbee is getting sued. And eventually people are going to get paid out. Now it's up to you if you want to be part of. And then the recording ends. Okay, let me get to these super chats. Shout out to Persephone for becoming a member, and also Gen X to the 7th power. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Cryptic Dino, Buzz Lightyear is a crook and a shark. He said so himself. He smells blood and now he's going to lose his license. Maybe. I don't know. I wasn't there. I want to see the evidence. But if what he's saying is true, some other people besides him is about to be in trouble. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Hibiscus, thank you for the $4.99 super sticker. Thank you so much, Courtney Malone, for the $2 donation to the BJ's and Badass Fund. Thank you. Thank you, Shelly, for the $2 super chat. When you read to us and put some spice to it, I got to get my accents for each person. Thank you for that super chat. Thank you, Dee, for the $4.99 super sticker. Appreciate that. Thank you, Laurie, for the $2 super sticker. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Jinx, for the $10, and then coming back with a $20, maybe it was opposite. Thank you so much for the $10 and $20 super chats. Thank you, Itty Bitty, and thank you, Itty Bitty, for the $5 super chat. Thank you for your time. Your hard work doesn't go unnoticed. Love you. Okay, bye. Okay, y'all. So I gotta go do some quick research real quick, but in 15 minutes, I'm gonna be back on live again because we gotta cover live the Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs pre-trial hearing. It is today. There's several issues up for discussion on the docket. What's up for discussion has to do with maybe allegations having to do with Brady violations, but maybe we're going to have a pause on those. What else? Diddy being unhappy, with the discovery in the possession of the government. And then also Mark Agnifilo wants to reclassify some of the evidence from sealed to like attorney's eyes only. Who knows what else is going to come up in there. I got to go check the docket and I got to go do some other stuff. My mom voice is fire. Y'all are funny. I got to go do some other stuff so that I can be back on time for the 2:00 hearing. That's all I really had for right now. In the meantime, facts ain't defamation. Love you, mean it. Okay, bye.